In May 2025, President Donald Trump launched a headline-grabbing diplomatic tour of the Arabian Gulf, trading quiet negotiation for grand spectacle. In Riyadh, Doha, and Abu Dhabi, Trump was welcomed with golden swords, lavish banquets, and sprawling honor guards, each stop a meticulously staged show of power. The message, America, under Trump, was back to bold, transactional foreign policy, directly challenging China's growing influence in the region. The tour's centerpiece was the announcement of $2 trillion in investment and commercial deals from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, an eye-popping figure meant to signal American resurgence. For Gulf leaders, it was a chance to secure U.S. technology and military hardware, while reaffirming their alignment with Washington. In Saudi Arabia, Trump was the guest of honor at a GCC summit, positioning himself as the region's chief power broker. Qatar and the UAE followed with their own grand ceremonies, accelerating investment plans and celebrating new tech partnerships. But beneath the spectacle, the tour marked a strategic pivot. The U.S. was doubling down on wealthy Sunni Gulf allies, pointedly sidelining Israel amid tensions over Gaza. Trump's decision to skip Israel was a calculated snub, signaling a new results-driven Middle East policy where old alliances were no longer guaranteed. The Gulf tour wasn't just a financial roadshow, it was a dramatic realignment of American priorities in one of the world's most volatile regions. The world watched as the U.S. reasserted itself, but the true impact of this high-stakes diplomacy remained to be seen. The $2 trillion headline was built on ambitious pledges across defense, energy, and technology. Saudi Arabia's $600 billion in deals included a record $142 billion arms package, raising alarms in Israel about its military edge. Qatar's $1.2 trillion commitment spanned aviation, defense, and infrastructure, tying its economy to the U.S. for decades. The UAE accelerated a $1.4 trillion investment plan, with a landmark AI agreement aligning its tech regulations with American standards, countering China's ambitions in the region. The U.S. lifted restrictions on advanced semiconductors and AI exports to Gulf partners, aiming to set global standards and outpace Beijing. Tech luminaries like Elon Musk and Sam Altman joined the tour, signaling a shift from oil to AI as the new frontier of U.S. Gulf cooperation. The narrative, the future of the global economy, would be built on American innovation, Gulf capital, and a new digital Silk Road. In Washington, Trump's Gulf tour was met with bipartisan skepticism. Lawmakers noted that many deals were non-binding or rebranded old agreements, with independent estimates placing real commitments far below the $2 trillion mark. Critics questioned whether Gulf states could deliver on such vast pledges, given their own financial strains and lack of clear timelines. The decision to lift export restrictions on sensitive U.S. technology sparked security fears, with experts warning of potential backdoors for China. Reports revealed that security protocols were lacking, and budget cuts threatened the agencies tasked with oversight. The verdict impressive headlines, but the risks and realities of these deals were only beginning to surface. The Gulf tour's opulence ignited a firestorm in Washington, especially over extravagant gifts. The most controversial, a luxury Boeing 747-8 jet from the Emir of Qatar, raising constitutional questions under the Emoluments Clause. Critics called it a blatant attempt to curry favor, demanding investigations and the jet's surrender to the state. The White House dismissed concerns as political noise, insisting such gifts were diplomatic custom. But the spectacle fueled a narrative of blurred lines between personal enrichment and public service, undermining the tour's achievements. The controversy shifted focus from economic gains to ethics, leaving Americans questioning who truly benefited from these deals. While Trump's Gulf tour dominated headlines, Canada was quietly undergoing a strategic transformation. Prime Minister Mark Carney's government saw deep reliance on the U.S. as a growing vulnerability, especially amid American protectionism and political volatility. Years of tariffs and provocative rhetoric from Washington convinced Ottawa that a new path was necessary. Carney declared a pivot. Canada would diversify trade, strengthening ties with Europe and Asia to reduce dependence on the U.S. Trade missions expanded globally, seeking new markets and partnerships. The U.S.-Canada relationship shifted from broad dependence to targeted cooperation, with Canada maintaining retaliatory tariffs and asserting its sovereignty. NORAD modernization continued, but the era of unquestioned integration was over. Canada's new approach was pragmatic, building resilience against future shocks from the South. The nation was charting its own course, prioritizing economic sovereignty in a world of shifting alliances. As the US chased Gulf deals, Canada quietly built a more balanced and independent future. The fallout from US protectionism hit Canada's industrial heartland hard, disrupting auto and lumber industries. The USMCA offered little protection, leaving Canadian workers exposed to tariffs and uncertainty. Ottawa responded with a bold strategy, investing in homegrown innovation, advanced manufacturing, and the green economy. Canada ramped up development of critical minerals and aimed to control the entire electric vehicle supply chain, from mining to assembly. The goal reduced dependence on both the US and China, and positioned Canada as a leader in sustainable industries. While the US pursued flashy deals abroad, Canada focused on building a resilient, self-sufficient economy for the future. The US and Canada's diverging strategies are fracturing North America's once integrated manufacturing base. The just-in-time auto supply chain, a symbol of cross-border cooperation, is unraveling under tariffs and political hostility. Canada's push for a self-contained EV supply chain threatens to create two competing automotive zones where there was once one. The result: lost efficiencies, new trade barriers, and higher costs for businesses and consumers. The seamless North American market is giving way to duplication and friction. Decades of collaboration risk being replaced by competition and mistrust. The economic split is reshaping the continent's balance of power and its future prosperity. By mid-2025, the US and Canada's economic paths had never been more different. Trump's America pursued high-stakes, transactional deals with Gulf autocracies, chasing short-term wins and global headlines. Canada, under Carney, chose diversification and self-sufficiency, building quiet resilience through global partnerships and domestic investment. The stakes for ordinary people are immense. Will US deals deliver real jobs, or just spectacle? Can Canada replace lost industries with new sources of prosperity? North America stands at a crossroads, between renewed collaboration and deepening fragmentation. The choices made now will shape the continent's future for generations. Whether the historic US-Canada partnership endures or unravels remains uncertain, but the trend points toward a more divided and contentious era.